Bright lights. That's what the people in the Netherlands love. And first and foremost, thank you for being here today. Welcome to Clockwork Orange, Total Football, Naranja Mecánica. Yes, that all started in the late 60s and early 70s. The revolution that are still taking place through Pep Guardiola, starting with Ajax and Barcelona, and having our General Secretary of the Royal Federation, Royal Netherlands Football Association here as well. My name is Thomas Rongen. I'm the Liaison Sports Innovation and Vitality for the Kingdom of the Netherlands, which sounds great. I really work for Lisette, stand up for our Consul General here in Miami. That's the reason why we got 15 plus Dutch companies here that I'm sure you have engaged with already. The Netherlands has a unique place in the soccer culture, so to speak. The environment, based on the fact that we're small but we think big. And if we're talking about great soccer history, great revolutions, both on and off the field, it starts again in the late 60s and 70s with Ajax, the 74 World Cup team. As I said again, total football, Rinus Michels, Johan Cruyff, with the executioner in Johan Neeskens, which I will introduce shortly. We developed and still do through our coaching, and that's the emphasis today as well. Neeskens just came back from Colombia, where he spent a week in Cartagena to teach and continue the development of total football from a coaching curriculum. And the birth of total football, as I said again, started in those late 60s and 70s when this unique team, daring, playing on behalf of the opponent, technical football, interchanging of positions, the press, the offside trap, Youngblood as one of the first goalkeepers playing outside of his 18-yard box, which now has become the norm for most goalkeepers throughout the world. First and foremost, Gijs de Jong, 20 years with the Royal Netherlands Football Association, both in operations, in competitions, very much involved in 2010 and 14 World Cups, Gijs, if I'm correct. So thank you for being here. But the most important guy that I wanted to introduce is, as I said again, the protagonist at his Ajax years in the late 60s, and then throughout the continuation with the Dutch national team, playing a World Cup final in 74, 78, went to Barcelona, played 150 games there, became a coach with Guus Hiddink and others, went to 2 World Cups as well, coached NEC, and Johan is from Nijmegen, we call that, so he coached there as well. Absolutely brilliant that he now is involved with this great KNVB. Say that real quickly, all right, in terms of the World Coaches Program. So with any other further ado, we explore today the continuation of the KNVB, Koninklijke Nederlandse Voetbalbond, the continuation of development from grassroots to coaches as well. And we have a video that will talk a little bit about our DNA. Please join us.
We just played football, which the world loved.
In 1974, a European football team revolutionized the international game and playing some of the most stylish football ever witnessed at a World Cup.
Dat geeft de pas en hij scoort! Hij scoort, Johan! Schitterend gedaan!
En waar je 25 jaar geleden nog niet eens mocht voetballen.
Spitsen, daar langs en erin!
En je nu gewoon Europees kampioen wordt, dat doet wel heel veel met mij.
Miedema van de Donk is mee. Miedema! Europees kampioen!
Always linked to bribery or boys network.
But my mission is not finished.
De eerste voetbalbestuurder die in het openbaar tegen Sepp Blatter durft op te staan is voorzitter Michael van Praag van de Nederlandse Voetbalbond.
En nadien zijn er heel veel landen op me afgekomen om mij te complimenteren.
En is het dan een overtreding op Nienhuis? De bal gaat op de stem. Voor Hens.
Het is zo dat 22 man op het veld die om een bal spelen en een doelpunt willen maken, het is heel moeilijk te controleren.
Het kan worden teruggekeken. Het wordt teruggekeken.
Je hebt dus hulp nodig als scheidsrechter.
Videoreferee. Nee, hij telt niet inderdaad. En dat is de juiste beslissing.
Although the Dutch are a proud and patriotic people, they don't often show it. There is, however, one big exception.
We gingen vrijdag achter die dubbeldekker aan het stadion. Net of je allemaal Brad Pitt bent. Dat is echt ongelooflijk. En die mensen allemaal zo van, ja, dat moet voor hier ook bijzonder zijn.
Het is gewoon een fantastisch project. En ik ben heel erg blij dat ik daar deel van kan zijn.
De coaches worden opgeleid door de KNVB, door de World Coaches, om zelf ook een World Coach te worden. Het is leuk om te zien als je de eerste dag komt en dan de laatste dag wat een progressie ze maken. En ik denk dat je daar toch voor doet.
Thank you very much. And I just introduced, and stay up please, a legend who deserves a round of applause. I said again, 74-78 finalist, Barcelona, 3 UCL championships by the way, and also part of the coaching staff at Barcelona that gave our beloved Leo Messi a chance for the first team for Barcelona. My question to Johan is, who just, as I said again, came back from Colombia, what explain our DNA that started in the late 60s and still continues right now? What is the Dutch DNA on the field, Johan?
As you said before, at the end of the 60s, Ajax Amsterdam in 68, 69, they came for the first time in the Champions League final against AC Milan. They lost that game 4-1. The next year it was Feyenoord, also in the final, and they beat Celtic. Then came in the 70s, okay, then Ajax was on, it was their turn, and they make it 3 times in a row to win the Champions League with that team. And I think Ajax at that time was a wonderful team, and we were very lucky that we had the best player at that time in the world playing for us, Johan Cruyff, who was an amazing player, who was, the best. And also the way he was thinking about football. He always said, first of all, we have to play attractive football for the people who comes to watch the game. It has to be attacking, attractive football with a lot of goals, and that should be our DNA as a club, but also as a nation. So he was the brain behind it, together with the very good coach Rinus Michels. And of course, I was very happy with the young age to come to Ajax with only 18 years old, and to come in that team and then be part of the team when we win 3 times in a row this Champions League. So I think after the 74 World Cup, in that team were playing 6 players of Ajax who were very successful. So it was very easy to play the same way that we were used to. But after that tournament in 74, I think all over the world, the international press were talking about the Máquina Naranja, total football, and I think there it started. Now, still who doing that is Pep Guardiola. He was one of the players under Cruyff in Barcelona when they went 4 times winning the league in Spain. And he always keeps saying he learned this all from Johan Cruyff. And now we see him playing that with Bayern Munich, with Barcelona where he was before again, and now with Manchester City. So I think total football, we can be proud of it, that we won also part of it. So
absolutely.
Thank you.
Innovative, radical, daring, as we have to be. We live below sea level. So we have to innovate. We need to think outside of the box. And that's very similar on this green pitch in the late 60s and 70s. I want to ask our General Secretary the same question, but now off the field, Gijs. What is the DNA? What is the continuation of total football?
Well, I think off the pitch, it's quite clear also in the video, but we're a small country, only 80 million people, and we have to compete, and the countries we have to compete with are England, France, Germany, Spain, Italy, those countries, so all big countries. I think the closest to our inhabitants is maybe Spain, so almost 50 million people, 3 times as big as we are. So if we want to compete with them, we will never win on numbers. So we should always win on doing things differently, and that's what we try to do by being creative, playing attractive football, but also off the pitch, doing things differently than the big countries do.
Correct. And staying with you, what's the landscape like? I just want to use one analogy. Kids in the Netherlands have the right to play. They don't pay. Whereas in this country, it's different. Talk a little bit about the landscape in the Netherlands from grassroots all the way to the top that you are very much involved with.
Well, I think if you see our country, again, which is a small country, only 80 million people, we have 3,000 clubs there. And I think our amateur landscape is more cultural heritage. Huh? We bring the kids to the clubs. We don't have to do anything because the grandfathers, the fathers, the mothers, the grandmothers, they bring the kids to the clubs and they come there because it's the most accessible sport in the country. You only, like the town where I live, you pay €100 per kid. You get a good competition, a good coach, a good referee, good infrastructure, a kit for the kid to play. And if your parents can't pay €100, then the government or at least the municipality will pay for that. So what we do to grow the game is make sure that we have good infrastructure, that we do a lot on coach education. We say every kid deserves a good coach, not only in the Netherlands, I think also everywhere in the world. We make good competitions, good competitive balance in the competitions to make sure that the kids play. And as you can see, we have a small country, so the biggest talents from the south can play the biggest talents of the north every weekend. We play more than 30,000 matches every weekend to make the kids better and to make a good talent pathway.
Right. Talk about landscape and pathway, which is a word here in the United States and at times very confusing for young players. Since we don't have one governing body, we have several of them as well. So there's ways for players to participate, but not really understanding what the pathway is better now than it was through MLS and their academies as well. But Johan, when you grew up and you started your youth club, what was your pathway? What was the landscape there for you to get to Ajax and eventually the Dutch national team?
Okay, I was born in a very small city called Heemstede. Had also a club who played in second division, Racing Club Heemstede. And of course I started playing on the streets when I was 4, 5, 6 years old. With 7, I could go to that club and to play in the youth. And I had a very good drive. I wanted to achieve something. And I loved sport. I was the best in school, not with mathematics, but with sport. So I wanted to achieve something.
But you knew the distance between 18-yard box and 18-yard box, because that's where you traveled all the time.
That came later. But I wanted to play, and I started there playing football with the age of 7, but I had also a baseball team, so I did also baseball. And when I was 13, I reached that for the national youth team of baseball, and that was great. Then I came to the age of 14, and I thought, hey, I want to achieve something in sport. But I still did school. So I said to my parents, I want to leave school, I'm going to work, and I'm going to achieve something. And they said, no, that is difficult, it's not good. And we had some problems, but then I said, okay, we make a deal. We put it on paper, and I signed. If I, by the age of 18, don't achieve anything in sport, I go back to school. And I didn't want to go back. So I gave everything for it. I went in the club, and by 16, I was playing in the first team also of my town. That was my dream already when I was 12. And after that, lucky, you get scouting, and then you was also named to play for the youth national team under 18. And then there are more scouts, and by 18, then Ajax came. So yeah, then you go to the biggest club at that time to Ajax. not thinking then, okay, maybe you practice with them and you play in the second team. But from the beginning I started to play and I did well, and I was playing then, and 3 months later I was announced for the national team, so it went very quick. So you see, I was lucky, but if not, I had to go back to school, and that is what I didn't want at that time.
And so, Johan goes to his local club, which is a small club, but you have a clubhouse.
Yes.
You take showers at 8 years old,
yes,
because that's healthy. You have a place to go where you can watch the first team and you're excited to root them on as well.
Right.
All things, obviously, that we don't have in this country. It might hold us back, not creating that culture, which you can do artificially. But just gives you an idea. Every club in the Netherlands, 67,000, have a place, a wholesome place for these young kids to go to, eat something after the game, watching all their teams play as well, rooting for the first team, and then eventually find their pathway through scouts. Yes, our demographics, we're a small country, it's easier to scout than it is in the United States. That's a big problem for us as well, why we're missing players, but that's brilliant. Talking about innovation, and we talked about Total Football, which is an innovation as well. We have 15 companies here, and you can't miss us with a big orange wall right there that says Total Football, from greening to sustainability, to a bank. If you need finances, talk to the Rabobank. We always have the Dutch Federation here as well, but we have some very interesting people here that love to engage with you. So stop by for a coffee, maybe a Heineken later on. We're talking about innovation, which we're so good at in a lot of areas. Guys, you know, what makes us so special?
Well, don't forget about ING banking, because that's our commercial partner. But that's,
okay,
that's on the side. No. But going back, I think this is a start. This is a start. The landscape, the amateur landscape. That's crucial in being different and being successful. But meanwhile, we also have the DNA. So what is that DNA, and what do we do differently? Because what we said, our competitors are by far bigger than we are. So we need to. We can't outrun them, we have to outsmart them. And these are 3 examples how we do it. One is our innovation center. So we have on our campus in Zeist, where our offices are, we have a big innovation center, and we work there to improve our competitions, so work on competitive balance. We also work there on a lot of research on head injuries, on how to prevent injuries. We also work there to make things differently, to make better artificial turf, all kinds of performance tracking, how we can improve it. So that's the Innovation Center. We did a lot on the R&D for the VAR. We believe in the VAR. It still has to improve, definitely. It has to improve. So the decision-making process has to be better. The communication has to be better. We fully support the FIFA public announcement, which they're doing now at the World Cups. So we work on that. And the last, but maybe not least, is also the future rules of football. What we think is, football today is great, but how will it be in the 50s, in the 2050? How will football be done? Will it still be on a pitch 105 by 68, 2 times 45 minutes, 2 times 11 players, or will it be differently? We changed a lot in the youth, which make the game more attractive and more sportive and more fair. And we're now also working to see how can we improve the game on the senior side, maybe by coming up with a kick-in instead of a throw-in, with time penalties, with effective playing time, and we're doing a lot of studies to see how we can improve the game.
So in essence, because we're small and fighting against bigger nations in our particular sport, obviously, we have to try to outsmart the opponent.
Well, definitely. We will never win on
Correct.
numbers. Never.
So that's why you're pushing the boundaries
Yes.
and continue to do
Yes.
so. And that's why we're talking to Amanda van der Voort, exchanging ideas, et cetera, be it CONCACAF, and be it, again, through coaches like Johan Neeskens, that, as I said again, just spent some time in Colombia, you know, explaining what our DNA is all about. What's the role of international events in your, again, KNVB, Koninklijke Nederlandse Voetbalbond? What events do you have coming up? What are the pillars?
I think basically we want to keep the game the most popular game in the Netherlands. We are by far the most popular game, but we want to keep it popular. So these events help to keep it popular. But not only that, we have 3 goals by organizing these events. One is the sportive one. We want to have a good infrastructure and a good moment to do a performance for your national teams. 2, we want to organize great events so the people in the stadia, but also the people at home watching television have a lot of fun, but also creating legacy. And I think what you see here are the events we did in the last 20 years. But if you see the event in 2017, the Women's Euro we did, I think that's the best example of a successful event. 1, our team became champion. You need to be lucky, but you have the home advantage. 2, people enjoyed it in the stadia, but also watching it on television. But 3, the most important is that by far a lot more girls started playing football in the Netherlands. And the discussion, is it a women's game, is it a male game, is totally done in the Netherlands. It's a game for everybody. Boys and girls play together until the age of 13. So there's a lot improved. And even the most conservative father in the world will tell his daughter it's fine to play football. So I think we improved a lot on that. Yeah, maybe I'm not going to talk about 2027, but it's a little bit sensitive here because USA and Mexico are also bidding for the Women's World Cup. But I think it definitely should be in Europe, should be in Germany, Belgium, and the Netherlands in 2027.
Talk about the World Cup. I said again, a finalist in 74 and 78. Yes, we are the bridesmaids of soccer. We had the 4 finals, haven't won one, but we're so romantic that we'd rather lose 5-4 than win 1-0.
And we still have ambition to win it one day.
I know, we will. One day we will, correct. And one day, as the US does, dreams as well to win a men's World Cup where the women obviously, and you just saw Jill Ellis was part of the continuation of the growth here. Welcome, by the way, Emma Hayes, not here, but she'll be in charge, which is a great compliment and probably the right person to do that, to take the women's game forward. But talk about World Cup. What was your experience like? Twice as a player, and I think 2 times as a coach as well. Once with Guus Hiddink and once with, what's the other World Cup? Australia, and you were with...
and Hiddink.
There you go. So
for Australia.
So those experiences as a player on that level, with that kind of pressure, talk about that, Johan, and give our audience a sense of what it's like.
No, it is not only, at least not for me, the pressure, because you did already so many things before by winning 3 times the Champions League, but you play on the higher stage. The whole world is watching these games. And you as a small country, you as a player, maybe in other countries they never heard about you, you're playing the final of the World Cup. And that is amazing. Very proud, of course, to be there as a player. Not so many players have this opportunity. And to do it twice in a row, that was fantastic.
If I can just interject there, take us through the 30-plus passes, 74 World Cup, Germany no chance, Cruyff drives, penalty, Neesken steps up, 1-0 Netherlands.
Yeah.
And somehow, the best team at the tournament by far did not advance. Can you give us some idea, what sense?
Yeah, of course you are very disappointed, because I think so far, till the final, we played the most attractive football.
Beat Argentina, what, 4-0?
4-0.
Beat Brazil, 2-0, thanks for coming.
and East Germany, 2-0. So that was great, but still it is football, and not always maybe the best team wins. But I think if you see, I travel now around the world and people say, thank you for the beautiful football, what you played in 74, that was amazing. That is something too, okay? So, yeah, of course you're disappointed and you expected more, and you did it twice. And even in Argentina with the last minute to the post, hit the post with the 1-1. You were even closer.
The snake, Rob Ransenbrick, 1-1, hits the post, overtime. Mario Campos, are you in the building? We hate you, by the way. And we lost, but,
no, but
those moments, Johan, must be incredible.
Yeah, but I think also we were a little bit unlucky to face twice
the host
country. But I think I'm proud of it, what we have achieved. After that, also the team in 2010, again in the final, lost against a fantastic team, Spain, who deserves also to win. So, but coming there 3 times, a small country like we have, I think that is a very good achievement. And of course, as a coach, I think it is easier to be a player than to arrange everything as a coach, because there are so many influences from outside, from the press, from the expectation. So, and to tell, you have the experience as a player, and you tell them, but how the player can deal with it. The one can handle it, the one have more problems with it. So I prefer to be a player instead of a coach.
I was 27 and bored, so I took my A and B license of the United States Soccer Federation, which was probably in mid 80s. And I took the B in 1 week, and literally 6 months later, because I was a pro, I could take the A in 1 week. So in 2 weeks, I had the highest license in the United States. Coaching education is at the core of our success, quite frankly, and the continuation of pushing the envelope through our new programs right now, which is our World Coaches Program, implementing that throughout the world. Anybody here that would like to get Mr. Naskins to come for a week, or anybody else for that matter, feel free to talk to us there, because we want to continue to raise the bar, not just for us, but for the whole world together. So talk about those programs, Gijs, please.
I think we have a beautiful video on it, but so I don't know if we start with video, but
yeah,
we can
let's
also
start. Absolutely, we're all about video.
At the KNVB, we believe in the power of football. That's why in 2009, in build-up to the World Cup in South Africa, we launched an international program. A program based on our knowledge and international experience in coaching to support children all over the world. This launch was an important moment. It marked the start of a program with which we have trained more than 12,000 coaches in 52 countries who train about 500,000 children on a weekly basis. This program is called World Coaches. A world coach is a local coach who, via football, supports the social development of children by teaching them life skills like creative thinking, collaboration, and problem solving. Anyone with a passion for football and the right mindset can become a world coach, from PE teachers to former professional players, men and women. Our KNVB instructors travel all over the world, providing 5-day training courses almost every week to groups of 25 future world coaches. They equip them with useful knowledge and skills, the right materials, and eventually their certificate. Motivated and talented coaches can grow to advanced level or even become an instructor themselves. That's how we create an independent network of local knowledge. The World Coaches Program is a KNVB initiative in collaboration with ministries, corporates, NGOs, and local organizations, as well as well-known ambassadors. Working upon invitation or our own initiative, we always pursue the same goal: improving the quality of life of a young football player. Because the KNVB believes that every young football player deserves a good coach, a world coach.
Awesome. And what we love to travel. We love to conquer in a good way. You know, our former colonies, obviously. We speak our languages, which is great too. For your nation to go to Colombia and converse in Spanish. You speak Spanish fluently, obviously.
Sí, poco.
You speak Dutch fluently. Wie geht's? Spreekst du Deutsch?
Ja, zeker.
So most Dutchies speak at least 3 languages, in most cases 5. And that's the reason why, as I said again, we embrace other cultures and feel very comfortable approaching those people as well. You just came back from, by the way, I had an unbelievable summer with Carlos El Pibe Valderrama in Santa Marta and in Barranquilla. I could talk about that later. Oh, maybe Michael Fassbender might do it in the movie, actually. But I've been to Colombia. I've been there as well. That's where they play their home games because it's humid and it's a tough place to play. But tell us about that experience. What is it like, and why is it so important for you still to give back?
Yeah, because you go most of the time. You go to places where these people don't have the opportunity. They don't get so many chances to be part as a participant to go in one of the coaches' courses. Also the kids who are coming. Over us it is normal. You go in Holland to a very small amateur team and there are 2 or 3 fields, 2 grass, 1 artificial. Papa and mama bring them to the thing. That over there it doesn't exist. I had in our last coach, there were about 6 coaches. They had to travel 10 hours to be on that course. You know, 10 hours with the bus. In Bogota, I was there, and we were given in Uzme, and they had to come. At 8 o'clock it starts. They have to leave 5:30 from home. First, more than an hour walking. Then they could take a half an hour the bus, and then the last 15 minutes walking again. They were on time. They were on time, and that goes on till 5 o'clock. The same back home, and that they do 7 days in a week. Unbelievable, the motivation to be there. They show that they are interested. They want to achieve something. And that is something beautiful, and that you don't see in Europe. Because we are complaining all the time. This is not good. This is not. Over there you see what is needed. You come in places that don't have running water. They don't have electricity. They don't have fields. You said, you arrive, you say, where is the field? No, this is the field. You have to clean up first with stones, with glass. Then you can practice over there. There are no lines, there are no goals. You give them a ball and they are happy. So they appreciate it much more. And then I love it to go over there, to be a week, to work with them. And I go with a smile home, and I always feel a winner. And not like a coach for a team. I prefer to do this. I wish I had it earlier done. Because this gives me satisfaction, and I hope to do it many more years to go. Thank you.
And Johan is coming back next year, early next year, to go to Georgia to help there as well. We all know that we have our international academy as well. What's the difference between, you know, the World Coaches Program and the International Academy, Gijs?
No, of course, we are extremely proud of the work which we do in World Coaches, and where Johan is one of our legends who helps us on that. And I think it's great to do that and to help kids on life skills. But beside that, we also have our International Academy, where we try to share our knowledge, our experience on coach education, and where we offer tailor-made programs for any stakeholder in the world to grow the game in every country in the world. So that's besides the World Coaches project.
Yeah. Where are we time-wise? Because we're close to the end. We're at 0, so no questions. But thank you very much, first and foremost, for being here. Thank you very much for joining us at the VIP reception, which was co-hosted by SoccerX and Sports NL. You can't miss our orange wall. So please stop by, have a cup of coffee, and exchange ideas and knowledge. Or there might be a product out there that might work for you as well. As I said, we have 15 different countries here. Just a little fun fact. My mom said I was born with a helmet, which is pretty much a wife's tale, but means you have luck. So I get to the United States through Rinus Michels as a 21-year-old, because I was sitting next to him in a plane in '78, and I said, oh, I like the Rocky Mountains. 3 minutes later, I signed for the LA Aztecs, Thomas. I need a cheap guy to run his bollocks off for Johan Cruyff. I go, yeah, I'm in. I thought an adventure. 45 years later, I'm here again. Played with my childhood hero, Johan Cruyff. Played with Johan, 10 games for the Fort Lauderdale Sun. You remember that as well? Was able to travel the world with American Samoa, calling Inter Miami Leo Messi right now at my age. And again, Michael Fassbender's playing me in a movie. How's your day going, by the way? That's total football, by the way. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Mr. Neeskens, Gijs de Jong.
Thank you.
Enjoy.